Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You may remember a couple of weeks ago in one of my other videos that I mentioned that I wanted to make some surprise videos or videos with a little surprise for you. I have recently bought quite a few different sort of art supplies, and instead of just doing, a regular art haul, then I wanted to make some smaller videos, not that long, where I show you each and every one of these supplies and use them so you can see how they work. And you can see from the brushes I have here on my desk that today we are going to look at some new watercolors I have bought. So sit back, relax, get yourself a nice cup of coffee or a mug of tea before we move on with the video and enjoy it. Okay, let's get the brushes to the side and bring out this one, Skrim Watercolors. And yes, you are absolutely right. You are looking at the first part of the big Bombastico set from Skrim Watercolors. And these watercolors comes in two huge watercolor cases here, and the other one I will make a separate video about because we will have enough to do with examining these. So you can see I have already made a little sign just to keep them all in check. You can see here when I open the box, you can see the dust from the watercolors. So unfortunately, during the transport, when I received this set, for some reason this set had been, wobbled completely about, and this meant that when I received it, they were not in order. A lot of the watercolors had been knocked loose, and even one of them had been broken. You can see here with this one, something of it is completely missing, and this one down here, I'm actually a bit afraid of removing it, but you can see here that it's also broken. I do think that this one is actually loose. You can see it. Oh, yeah. So you can see if I remove it, and then I dropped it down here, and you can see it's completely a wreck here. So for such expensive watercolors, I am actually a bit sad that this one has broken so much. But this is just one of the many colors. So let's get through the colors and then we will begin testing them. You can also see all of the smudging here from the powder. They are extremely pigmented. I can hardly touch it without getting all of this pigment on my hands. And you can also see the powder has just rubbed off on the surface of these special watercolors. Okay, I will just get some of my notes and let's begin talking about the Skrim Watercolors and the Bombastico set. Okay, so Skrim Watercolors, they are German made. This is a family business from Germany. And they love making these sort of art supplies, and they have mixed and tested and made all of these themselves without any big companies over it. So it's it's sort of handmade actually, and they say that they are committed to a few things. They say that every pigment blend is chosen and tested by us. And they avoid unnecessary packaging and wasted materials. And that the customer should feel the love behind the product. And, this is just me because I love buying art supplies, especially watercolors that are handmade and, from small companies. Of course, Prismacolor is not it's not a small company, it's a huge company. But you know what I mean? That, of course, some of the brands are really big, but whenever I can, I like to support smaller companies that make these beautiful art supplies. They also have a website, and you can go to the website, and they have a lot of different watercolors, and they specialize not only in normal watercolors, but in really special watercolors. And you can see here with a lot of glitter and metallic effects, and also a lot of other effects that I will talk to you about. So if we look closer at this set, I have rearranged the order so it matches what it should have been when I received it, because, you know, it was completely a mess here. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of full pans and we have some half pans here. So these first 6 colors, and you can see they are sort of golden and copper and bronze colors. They are called 6 full pans of metalloid colors. Okay, and these metalloid colors have these beautiful metallic effects. Then we have more full pans. We have these 5 over here, and you can see they are more pinkish purple colors. This row, they are the royal shifters. So these are shifter colors. And they also, you know, it says that they have some gemstone dust. It's have this sort of gemstone effect, these 5 of them. So we will, of course, test them and see exactly how they work. And then we have these 4. This one, which is more of a grayish purple color. This, which is, well, it really looks like a sort of light gray or lilac color, and then these 2. And these are the 4 full pans of what is called the Scrim shifters, and they are metallic colors. Okay, then we have this one up here. This is very special. This has a halo effect, so it's just called halo. Then we have these 3 paints. They are the glow paints. And you can see, again, unfortunately, the surface is a bit ruined right now because of all of the dust from the watercolors, because it was a mess when it was sent. So we'll just have to sort of wash that off before we can really use them. But glow paints, so these should, you know, glow in the dark. And then we have 8 half pans here of Supreme shifters, metallic, so more shift colors, also metallic. And then we have these colors, and these are just normal aquarelle colors, so normal watercolors. And you can see we have orange and yellow and a red and brown, black, dark green. I think that one was dark green, and purple and blue. So just normal watercolors here. Okay, so those are the colors in this box that we are going to be testing today. So when you buy this set, you get a piece of paper with tips and rules for usage, both in German, Bedienungsanleitung, and then of course in English, tips and rules for usage. So first of all, it says that they are environmentally friendly produced, vegan, do not contain any toxic substances or anything hazardous at all. Nice to know. And all of the colors are light fast. Okay, and then they say recommended use only for watercolor paper. And then they recommend Canson paper or Arches pure cotton. And I will test them on watercolor paper. Probably not as expensive as this one sounds, but I do have real watercolor paper, and it's 50% cotton. So I think that will be all okay for this one. And then how to use them. Apply clean water onto the surface of the pan and let the water soak in for at least 5 minutes. So they have to, you know, soak in water a bit longer than I would normally do with watercolors. A couple of minutes is at least, but they do recommend at least 5 minutes. Actually, they said in an email to me 5 to 10 minutes. And of course, I will not film that, because why should we sit and stare at the watercolors for 5 to 10 minutes? And that's why you want it to get really creamy for the best results. And then a warning, keep away from children and animals. Do not feed any living being with it, and do not eat it yourself. Of course not. Who would want to eat this? But nice with the warning. And do not use paint on your body in any form at all. Okay. Drying time. up to 24 hours depending on paper type and humidity. Okay, so this is actually really nice to know that it does take a long time to dry compared to other forms of watercolor. And then, of course, only to be used for art purposes, mentioned in number 2. And don't leave too much water on the colors and store them in a dry and clean place. And don't close the box until paints are dry. But, of course, we already know this. So I think that the most necessary information here is actually applied and let it soak for at least 5 minutes. And that it really takes a long time to dry. Okay, so I have here my little bottle, spray bottle, that I use when I use watercolors. So I am just so curious and I can't wait. So I would very much like to activate these royal shifters that we have here. These 5 royal shifters with the purple and pink colors. Perhaps some orange. It's a bit difficult to see, you know, on the surface compared to the color when you want to use it. So I will look at my watch, and in about 5-10 minutes time, they will be ready for use. Ooh, it's almost like it's Christmas Eve. I'm really excited. So these have been soaking for 7 minutes, so I will, and I also cheated, I activated the 4 Scrim shifters. So now I will just begin activating the metalloid. To make sure, and also the aquarelle, to make sure that we can use them in just a little while. Couple of drops here. Oh yes, this one is green, I can see. Okay, woo, really exciting. So this is the watercolor paper that I am using. 310 grams per square meter, cold pressed, and 50% cotton. Okay, so it's really, really, really thick. I have not experienced any paper this thick. And you can see I have already written down so I can have my swatch chart here, because of course I'm going to swatch them all. My Skrim Infinity Box. This is the part of the Bombastico set, which is called the Infinity Box. And that's why I've written Bombastico 1 here. So the royal shifters, Scrim shifters, aquarelle, pure metalloid. And you can see here with the glow sun, glow goblin, and glow in the dark that I have just colored with a black pen to have a black background on the paper, and also with the holo, because I really want to see how this performs on white and dark background, these so-called glow paints. Okay, so I will just try. So the royal shifters, and really because I still have to get used to these. So and I am using a normal brush. I forgot to mention, and I'm using a normal brush because you could also use, you know, a water brush, and right now like this. But I have found that when I use glitter watercolors, these are actually quite difficult for me to clean properly instead of normal brushes, because I have a little trick when I clean my normal brushes. So it's easier for me to clean these brushes, you know, than a water brush. So I will just begin with this one. It says that it's supposed to be a creamy surface, and you shouldn't put quite enough water on it, but right now I am a little bit afraid that perhaps they have dried out, because they look quite dry to me and not creamy. So I will just, you know, add a little bit more water on the surface, actually also for the metalloid, just to be sure, and also the aquarelle colors. Oh, that was perhaps a bit too much. Okay, so I will just try to get some color out. Oh, and you can see, yes, if you have too much water, it really dilutes. But a lot of shimmer in this one. Wow. Really glittery. So I actually think I will just take some of the color directly onto the surface, you know, to well, there is certainly a lot of glitter, if you can see it. And the color is sort of orangey-like, or bronze or copper. I actually think it's more copper than orange. So I will try not to dilute it too much with water. I actually think I got it too much diluted over there, so we can really see the color. Really shiny. I do think that you perhaps should use these sort of glittery colors on top of something else. Let's try the next color. This is definitely some sort of purple. Okay, it looks like it's purple, but it's not. I think it depends. Oh, yes, you have to have it in a certain angle. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it in certain angles that it is sort of pinkish. So when you just look at it, it looks a bit weird. But if you have a colored surface beneath, I do think that this will really give it a good shine to it. Let's try this one. This is really pink. Oh yeah, and you can clearly see the difference here. So this is darker, this is certainly lighter. But really, really nice to use. Look at this. Beautiful. And this one is more red. Oh yes, and now it gets more creamy. So you really have to put actually a bit more water than I had anticipated to get it creamy. Perhaps that changes when you have used them for a while. You can see here where I tried to dilute it with water. That was too much water because you can clearly see the water edge here. But here, when I've just taken it directly from the pan, it's much more limited with the water, and you get a much more nice saturated color out of it. So it's true, you do have to use a bit more water to activate these, but you don't have to necessarily dilute it with water again, like you would do with normal watercolors. Absolutely beautiful, these. And now the last one, which really looks purple to me. Lilac-y purple. Or purple pink. Also a darker color. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful colors. I really, really hope that you can see the colors. Sometimes when I'm filming, it's a bit difficult to hold it in the angle where you can see it as well as I can. But right in this angle, I can clearly see that this is red and not pink. This is pinkish. This is more pink purple. And this has a really deep, deep copper glow, and this is a bit lighter. a light copper glow. I think that I will just try to put a little bit more on top without diluting it in water. Wow, absolutely beautiful. I think that the Scrim shifters should be ready now. And the Scrim shifters were these 4 colors. I will take the green one first. And these are not with glitter. So they have an even flow when you use them. So the other one's a bit grainy because of the glitter, but this one is just really smooth and more metallic-like. And I think that the color matches the one from the pan when it comes up here. And I will actually not dilute it because I think that if I do, it will be really, really thin. So let's take this more teal-like color. That is really creamy. So these Scrim shifters get way more creamy than the Royal shifters. I think there's something with all of these glitter grains that prevent them from being really creamy. But these Scrim shifters, they do get really creamy when you when the water has sit there for a moment. Now this is really not a light gray, but more of a purple. Lilac one, not a purple. This is a lilac. A metallic lilac, and very, very beautiful indeed. I will just put it up to the light when I have added the last color. So this is the one I thought looked a bit dark. I think that this is supposed to be a sort of purple gray. It does have a gray look to it. But again, they are so creamy, these Scrim shifters. Really, really creamy and easy to apply and really smooth compared to the Royal shifters. I will just put down the brush and let's look at them. And you can see here that when you put it up to the light, what looks gray is actually green. This is lilac purple. This is blue. So what I thought was teal is actually a blue color. And what I thought was a green color, when it dries, I mean, if you have it in this light, it's green. But if you put it on the other side, I really hope you can see it. You can clearly see it's blue, green, pinkish purple, blue, and orange. So that's what they mean by shifters. So in one part of the light, if you hold it, they have one color and then they shift color. Wow, I have never experienced any shifters like that. Wow, amazing. Okay, so now the pure metalloid and the aquarelle colors, they have certainly been. So let's take the pure metalloid first, just because I'm so curious. And these are not glittery, they are also metallic, and they are creamy and smooth when you apply them and when you try to get some of them. And of course, this is gold. So these should just be what they are, no shifting colors, just plain metallic colors. Or not plain, that was stupid to say because they are not plain, but you know, normal metallic colors. Oh, and they are really powerful in the color. They are very, very pigmented, these ones. Now for the third color, which is really creamy. I do think that this paper also works, especially if you don't add too much water. Okay, so here we have another gold. I think that this was a normal gold and the other was perhaps a very light gold. But this works really, really nice. I have to have room for 3 more colors, so I can't add a lot. This is probably a sort of bronze-like color. Yeah, I think it is bronze. Copper would be way more red. So that was probably copper and then bronze Oh, beautiful, beautiful metallic colors. And then a very light color. I'm not quite sure what this is because it doesn't look like silver, but perhaps it is silver, or supposed to be silver. Look at how easy it is, just lay the color down. It's so easy. Although the paper in coloring books is not that thick, I could easily imagine using some of these colors in a coloring book. I think that perhaps the glitter colors would be a bit difficult, but these metallic colors, pure metalloid, they are so easy and creamy to just lay down. And this is a deep gold, I would say, in the color. Wow. I am really impressed. So let's look at the colors. Really, really nice golden metallic colors. I think it is supposed to be, well, sort of silvery, but it's not quite silver. Deep gold, bronze, gold, or yellow gold, copper, and a light gold. Beautiful, beautiful colors. And now I will, before I do anything else, I will just activate these little half pans down here, so we can also swatch them, and the glow colors, which I might have to rinse because I'm a little bit afraid of that surface with all of that dust from the other colors. Okay, so let's just take these aquarelle, and I do think that this one is a bit dry. Oh, they're almost right. You really have to use water to activate these colors. Perhaps it's because they're half pounds, they're just so small. Okay, let's just... a plain normal black, which is nice. It's a really rich, deep, saturated black, and you can always use a black watercolor. Very good for backgrounds in, for example, Hannah Carlson books. I actually think that this looks a bit more saturated than the one I have from Winsor & Newton. Oh, wow, what a beautiful blue. This was the one that was ruined, a really rich dark blue. So that was the watercolor that was ruined. And this one is brown. A really nice dark brown color. Beautiful. Okay, and the next color, which is either a blue or a, no, it is a blue color. A lighter blue. It's a bit funny that you have these, what is it, 8 aquarelle, just normal watercolors, extremely pigmented and beautiful, I have to say. And then we have 2 different sorts of blue, but no purple. Or pink for that matter. We do have a red, orange, and yellow, and a green. They're very dark in the color, these colors they have chosen for this set. Dark colors indeed. I think the only light color is the yellow and the orange. Let's try the orange. And again, I will not dilute them. I just want the real nice color here on the paper. You can imagine what this looks like if you layer it and dilute it. And also you have it in a lighter version and then the darker color. Absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And the yellow, wow. This is really a sun yellow. Reminds me of the sun yellow from the Inkten set. Really, really beautiful. And it's weird because here the lines just keep getting bigger and bigger. I don't know why. And then the green. a beautiful green as far as I can just tell. Oh yes, beautiful dark green, but still very dark. But beautiful watercolors. But I can see that they will certainly take a bit more long to dry than the metallic colors. So I will not, because they are really wet right now. You can see that the surface of these is quite dry right now for the metallic colors and also the shifters and the royal shifters. But I will not hold it too. But you can see it's still really wet. But beautiful, beautiful pigmented colors. Wow! I just have to say wow. I do not regret buying these colors, certainly. Okay, so the Supreme shifters, also shift colors, also metallic. Well, I have begun, so I will just take it from the upside down. I think that yet again we have to use more water than I anticipated to activate these colors, to get them really creamy. Okay, so I think perhaps I should take 2 rows with these shifters. So let's begin here. Oh yes, again metallic. And a beautiful, what looks like to be a green color. And what looks like a sort of golden or bronze color. Bronze, I think. Okay. And a looks certainly like a purple color. Very beautiful. I'm a bit excited to see if these also shift depending on the light source. So this one, well, there's certainly a lot of pigment in these also. You can just see it here. If I dare bring it up to the camera, I will be really careful. Can just, oh yes, they are shifters, because when I hold it in this angle, it's green and not gold. Okay, amazing. We'll just have to wait for them to dry a bit on the paper before I can move it so you can see it on the camera. A dark green or teal, dark teal, I think, on the paper. Oh, I think I spilled a bit of water there. And what looks like a metallic brown. Really creamy to lay down. And then what looks like a bronze, but as I lay it down I can see that it looks like there are some pink pigments in it. So I can't wait for it to dry just a little bit to see it. And then a dark blue, which we will just take down here. How extremely creamy they are. I think I must have said it about 1,000 times now, so you're probably very tired of hearing it, but they are really creamy. Also compared to other watercolors I have. I have the glitter set from Arteza. They are not nearly as creamy as this one, and I'm very, very happy with my Arteza set. So it's almost dry. So when you just look at it, green, sort of copperish, purple, gold, blue, bronze, brown, teal. And then I bring it to the light. So they should be shifting. they do? This one is blue, this is teal, this is gold, this is pink, this is green, this is purple, and gold and orange. So a yellow gold and a gold and orange. I hope you can see it, that they do change. And they are almost, they're not entirely dry, but they shouldn't run. I hope you can see it. I really hope you can see how they shift. Wow. Okay. So now for these glow paints, and I'm not quite sure, so I hope I don't mess this up. I just have to say that because they were a mess and I just had to, I had to rearrange them, I'm not quite sure that it's the right ones I'm doing. But I think that this one in the middle is, it looks like a cream color. That should be the Gold Sun. I can just get it here, and you can't really see it on the paper. And it's, it's almost dry. They really dry out quite fast, these colors. So I will just take a little bit more and I will add. And you can see it's transparent. Okay, and it dissolves a bit of that black paint I had underneath it. Okay, so I think that was the Glow Sun. So this one with a more green tone in it, I think that's the one called the Glow Goblin. Again, transparent, but you can see a little bit more of the color here. And we will have to test this in a dark environment. With no light to see what it looks like in the dark. And then there is Glow in the Dark. And I think this must be the last one of them. Again, it's sort of a grayish color on the white paper. And then we just put some of it here on the black background. I just think I want a little bit more of the, if it is a Gold Sun here. Okay, and then the holo, which is has a holo effect. This is this very silver glittery thing over here at the end. So you can certainly see it on the white paper. It's silver shine. And then on the dark, I just put a little bit of it on here. So this should also have a holo-like effect. And you can see from my point of view that it's silver, but with a lot of glitter from different sorts of colors. Oh, whoops. Bit of the paint got off there. I'll just remove it a bit. Now we can certainly see what it looks like when it's diluted. But diluted or not, it's a strong effect, this holo. Okay, so that was it. We will just have to find a dark spot. I think I will wait for these to dry. Then I will find a dark place and try to put some light on it, and we can see the glow effect here. Okay, so I'm really trying to film this in the dark. You can clearly see the green color in this glow in the dark. I'm sorry if you hear a really loud sniffing sound, it's Tiger. He thinks this is very interesting. So I hope you can see there is a blue glow here. So I was correct, that was glow in the dark, it's blue. But down here where I colored on top of the dark, you can't see anything. So it works best on a light background. Here you can see the green color. I know it's a bit bad, this recording. And here is Glow in the Sun. I really hope that you can see it. Oh, it's not that obvious. I hope that you can see it really does glow in the dark. Here with the holo, you can see it really shines. Also a bit on the dark side. But the glow paints, they really don't shine with the black background. So you have to use it on a light background. Otherwise it won't work. As you can see from the last extremely dark recording, I really tried to show you the glow effect. I'm not satisfied with that recording or with the glow effect. Maybe my layer of the paint was too thin, so it had to be thicker. I'm not quite sure. If I take it up here and hold it, I hope that you can see there is a there is a glow effect. It's green here and blue here, and the layer, I think it was way too thin here, so you can see that it is well, a gold. And here where I had the black background and then painted on top, there was absolutely nothing, no reflection, nothing at all. The holo from the hologram is very nice, and you can see it both on a black background and also here on the white paper. So I'm not quite satisfied with these three glow colors. I will have to experiment more with these and perhaps use a thicker layer of these colors in the future. So I will get back to you in another video about these glow paints. But otherwise, I am really satisfied with the Skrim Infinity Box. I think the aquarelle watercolors are extremely pigmented, lovely colors. And the metalloid, beautiful colors. And the shifters, absolutely brilliant. And then we have these royal shifters, more like a glitter paint, you can see here. So I will certainly have fun with that. I also have to say that I did sift through my mail, and I do have a mail from Skrim Watercolors where they give some more tips about the colors, and they do say that that it's better to use these colors concentrated and covering instead of diluting them. So you can use them diluted, as I tried in the beginning, but they work the best if you do them in a concentrated layer, and you can also, of course, do more layers if you want to. I do think that perhaps with the shifters it's necessary with a couple of layers, whereas the metalloid will really covers great with only a couple of strokes. And also the Supreme shifters also. But they did take a while to dry. These are completely dry, so it took about an hour for these to dry, and also these. But the colors in the box themselves, some of them are still wet, and they have been wet now for approximately 3.5 hours, and they are not dry yet. So it's true, some of the colors really need a long drying time before they are completely dry. Well, my opinion about these Skrim watercolors, absolutely brilliant, well pigmented, and very easy to use. The glow colors, not that impressive, but the royal shifters, Supreme shifters, Skrim shifters, aquarelle and metalloid, absolutely brilliant. And the holo here, hologram, absolutely really shiny and beautiful, and works both on the white and the black background. More about these colors in a follow-up video where we look at the jewelry box. So I hope that this video was of use to you, that you perhaps were inspired to invest in these, or perhaps you just think it's very cool to see new coloring supplies and see them a bit in action. Of course, I will be using these also in coloring books, so there will be more updates in upcoming videos on my channel, and perhaps particularly in a next completed pages video where I will show you my finished works, also including using these colors. Please give this video a thumbs up, a like. It really does help my channel. And if you're new here and you just happen to stumble upon this video, consider subscribing. If you really like coloring and you want tips and tricks, check out my playlist series with tips and tricks for beginner colorists. A lot of interesting videos there. And you can also check out some of my other playlists. If you want to consider becoming a channel member, you can check out some of the videos for my membership. All of these videos are without ad breaks, so you can watch tutorials and color alongs nicely and quietly, and color along if you want. Upcoming videos: the Scrim, the jewelry box, also introducing the rainbow, more color and chats, and other videos with new coloring supplies and testing them. Until I see you in the next video, have a lovely day. Take care of yourself. Happy coloring. Bye.